Coming to you from DSP Studios, it's DSP Sports with David Beard and Don Stevens.
I'm Don Stevens. How you doing, David?
I'm doing great, Don. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I enjoyed the Super Bowl. It was a really fun game to watch. And I've got a confession, David.
Come on out, Don.
Well, right there towards the end of the first half, I looked up at the group of people that I had in my house, and I said, I sure as heck hope the Steelers score a touchdown before the end of this half.
Oh, I was the same exact way. I told my wife, I hope the game gets closer than this, because the first half was boring up until that last drive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're rooting for Green Bay and they're doing and they're scoring, that's exciting. But I mean, unless they're continuously scoring over and over and over again, doing interesting things like backflips, then you're right. It does get kind of boring.
Or if Green Bay really was my team, like the Rams,
yeah,
there is no way I'd be like, okay, let the other team score now.
An extra added dynamic to the game is that Aaron Rodgers looks almost exactly like MPD's Mike Graham. So it was amazing how I was sitting here and I was going, wow, Mike's doing such a great job at the Super Bowl.
Awesome.
Green Bay won, and this isn't a surprise to you or I. We picked them for a reason because we thought they were going to win.
Absolutely.
My son, on the other hand, had to pick a team to support, and he didn't know. So his grandfather was there saying, well, you need to pick Green Bay, son, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, no, you just look, let's do this. Let's pick this like any child should pick a football game. What do you like better, steel or cheese? My son said, steel. I said, well, then you're rooting for the Steelers. So he went off to play with his friends, and every time the Steelers would get close to scoring, I'd call him in, and he'd run in and get excited and walk out. You see, he doesn't know that Roethlisberger's a douchebag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it.
He just knows that he liked the uniforms and all that other stuff. One day, sports will be ruined for him because he'll realize that some of the people in sports are just douchebags.
Yeah, probably a majority of them.
Yeah, unfortunately. So here's the big thing: is Aaron Rodgers wins the Super Bowl. And now he's tied with Brett Favre.
For Super Bowl titles?
For Super Bowl titles. What's more important? Records or Super Bowl titles? If he wins one more title, does that mean he surpasses Brett Favre? Because records are nice, but you can't wear them on your finger.
Well, how many titles are you talking? If he wins 2 titles, you got to go with the career of Favre. This is my opinion. You got to go with the career of Favre. If he wins 3 titles, then no, Favre ain't got nothing on him.
Really? So those records really do mean something.
Well, when you have every single record, I think it means something.
Yeah. Now does do the records overcome the sexting?
Yeah, you try not to think about that when you are talking about the records. But let me just tell you this, Don. Brett Favre made it to the Super Bowl. I believe it was his 3rd or 4th year starting for Green Bay. This was Green Bay's quarterback right now. His 4th, what's his name?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. It's his 3rd year starting quarterback, and so he made it to the Super Bowl, same as Brett Favre, and he won. Brett Favre never won another Super Bowl. He got back the next year and lost to John Elway. So it's hard to say that he's going to get back there because that tells you right there how difficult it is. So if he does get back there and wins the Super Bowl, that is pretty impressive.
Well, I was looking at a list of the top quarterbacks of all time, and Drew Brees was on this list. And I couldn't believe that Drew Brees was on this list purely on the fact that he had made it to the Super Bowl and won last year. And all of a sudden, this year, he didn't even make it past the first round. But they want to put him...
He could be on any top list of quarterbacks when it comes to... If the list was the same one I'm thinking of as playoff or Super Bowl quarterbacks, was that the one?
It was something like that. It's just
yeah, I think you can't be on any list of Super Bowl quarterbacks if you've only been in one Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, I agree, and it's not like that New Orleans game was a blowout either, where he just dominated the entire thing. That game went right down to the end.
Yep.
Kurt Warner was rated above Tom Brady. on the list of.
Did you read the logic behind it? Because that got me too until I read the logic.
Yeah, I read the logic behind it, and I thought to myself, I don't think Tom Brady, if you put him in I don't think Tom Brady, if you stick him in with the Cardinals in Arizona, is going to take them to the Super Bowl.
No, I think you're probably right.
That was my reasoning. I don't remember the article word for word. It's been about a week and a half since I read it. But
Kurt Warner, I mean, if you looked at his numbers, he had over 400 yards. He had like the three biggest, I believe, passing performances in Super Bowl history, even though he lost 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
And, 2 out of 3 of them. But, I mean, his stats are pretty impressive in the Super Bowl. The guy definitely shows up, and every Super Bowl I've ever seen with Kurt Warner has always been impressive. So the guy always plays very good competitive Super Bowls. That's probably why he's up there.
So what's Marc Bulger doing right now?
He's backup quarterback in Baltimore, and it looks like he may be going to Arizona.
Wow. Wouldn't it be interesting if it repeated itself where a Rams quarterback went to Arizona and something clicked and they actually did well?
I think the difference is Kurt Warner is Kurt Warner and Marc Bulger is Marc Bulger.
Absolutely.
Also, I think Marc Bulger, too. I mean, he might do just fine, but also he's not a young guy anymore. So, and towards his last 2 years in St. Louis, every time the guy took a hit, he didn't take one regular season snap last year for Baltimore, I don't believe.
Really?
But every time that guy took a hit that last year he was in St. Louis, he was on the DL for a week or two. So I just don't think he could make it through a full season.
Let's get to Ben Roethlisberger. Did he do all he could do? Was he all he could be for the Super Bowl?
I think he was, because he has never played a good Super Bowl. I mean, they've won 2. The second one against Cardinals, he did pretty good, but he wasn't great. That's why they don't put him in the top quarterbacks. He was great. A guy that's been in the Super Bowl 3 times has only been in the league for like 7 years. That's an impressive record, but I think Ben Roethlisberger is riding the jock of his defense, and all he had to do was those years was play not to lose, and that's how come he won a Super Bowl. This year, he tried to do too much, and the turnovers are the single reason why they lost.
Yes, so we can both agree that he was not all that he could be.
No, not at all. And I wonder if anything to do with him going out drinking during the week.
Well, I feel bad for him because if he would have got that win, he would have been sinless again.
Yeah, no, he was one win away from being a good person. I like that.
One win away. Thanks to the Onion for such comical headlines.
Yeah.
Now, do you think at the end, after the game was over, and after we were all slightly toasted and buzzed, and we're full of pizza and chips and dip, they presented the Super Bowl trophy to the teams. And do you think that Terry Bradshaw, despite the fact that what was he, a 4-time Super Bowl champion?
I think so.
For the Steelers, do you think, despite the fact he was a 4-time Super Bowl champion for the quarterback winner for the Steelers, do you think he was happy not to be handing the trophy over to Cheeselessburger?
I think he was, but I do know he has a special relationship there with the Rooneys, so the owners. So I think he's probably glad he didn't want to hand it to Big Ben, but I think he probably would have wanted to hand it to the Rooneys. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense, because I still don't, after seeing some of the interview and seeing them interacting with each other, I still don't buy their buddies.
Well, that's why they're acting like it is because of the Rooneys. Yeah.
Now, I believe that Bill O'Reilly and Barack Obama are more buddies than Terry and Cheeselessburger.
Could be.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Right there, before any of the action starts, the beautiful, lovely, and talented one of the women of my dreams and up on the bar downstairs, Christina Aguilera, made a mistake in the national anthem.
Yes.
I mean, is this the most devastating atrocity ever, or not?
I was offended. No, I don't even know if she did, to be honest with you, Don. I wasn't paying attention because I was getting everything ready before the Super Bowl started, doing the last bathroom break and doing all that stuff. Because the Super Bowl is tough because you got to watch the commercials too.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, perfect time to go to the restroom, get everything ready. So I heard it, but I wasn't paying attention. But, I mean, give her a break. It's not like it's easy. She's done it 1,000 times. She's done it well. And, I mean, the Super Bowl is a lot of pressure. She messed up one line, and then she continued. And from what I heard in the other room, her voice sounded fine.
Yes. And a couple people here at the house immediately picked it up. And we had a guest that will remain nameless that started talking about how she should not have been singing the Super Bowl because she's from Brazil. And that didn't sound right with me. I thought I knew Christina Aguilera more than that, so I looked it up. I had someone else look it up on their iPhone. From Brooklyn, New York. She's from Brooklyn, New York. And I'm sorry, man, I bet you most of the people here in St. Louis are going to flub up the national anthem with all that. Never mind the fact, though, that Christina Aguilera is a multi-bajillion-dollar pop star. But, man, even multi-bajillion pop stars make mistakes. So let's let that go, people.
I think she was much better than the halftime show, to be honest with you. And she didn't even get it right.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, tonight's going to be a good night. Whatever. Just entertain us.
Is when artists make it about them. And that's why I didn't like the Janet Jackson nip slip. I thought it was stupid. She made it about her. And I didn't like the fact that the singer made it about him and said something to Obama, like he changed the words to send a message to Obama. It's like, shut up, sing the song, and don't make it about you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the problem. I have to know the words to a song in order to get that he's changed it to send a message to someone.
Yeah, no, he did.
Yeah, so I don't listen to the Black Eyed Peas, so I wouldn't know. I just wouldn't know.
I don't care what your politics are, but that stuff pisses me off.
That's not the venue for it.
No, and I bet you the NFL was pissed.
I was pissed when I saw political commercials a couple of years ago at the Super Bowl, where they were running political commercials during the Super Bowl, and I thought to myself, I'm a political guy. I love politics and dabbling in politics, but I don't want to be reminded of politics during the Super Bowl. I'm reminded of politics every other moment of my life. All right, now, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Sanchez is his name, I believe. The quarterback for the Jets is 25 years old. He's a Super Bowl quarterback in the NFL, and he's got a 17-year-old girlfriend that is still in high school. A senior, I believe. So what are we going to do? Are we going to chastise Mark, or are we going to say, hey, that's okay?
He's not doing anything illegal.
No, he's not doing anything illegal.
So until he gives her the tickle, he's doing nothing illegal. He's going to wait it out. As long as
he does it in certain states, he could probably get away with it too.
Yeah, he can drive her up to what does that say? One of them, like Michigan,
New Jersey.
Yeah, he could take weekends in Jersey on the Jersey Shore.
That's right. He can take her to the stadium he plays in.
Yeah, there you go.
Because as I'm so kindly point out to so many people, there are no New York football teams. They all play in New Jersey. Am I correct there?
You got it.
So why do they call them New York? Maybe that's a topic for another episode of DSP Sports. Let me tell you something about DSP Sports on the internet. If you go to DSPnetwork.net and you go scroll down on that website to the DSP Sport part and you click on the link and like us at Facebook, not only do you get the prestige of liking DSP Sports on Facebook and all your friends will know about it, but you'll get content there that you can't get anywhere else. So ladies and gentlemen, go to DSPnetwork.net and click like for DSP Sports and open up a whole new micro world of sports entertainment.
Hey, Don, I just want to remind everybody that DSP Sports is also on Twitter at one word, DSP Sports, capital DSP Sports, and we'll come out there and check us out, and we definitely post our shows on there and some of the links that we post on the Facebook page as well.
Cool stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been DSP Sports. I hope you enjoyed us talking about the Super Bowl and other football news. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to let everyone know that they can watch DSP Sports here on the DSP Sports channel at YouTube or on the DSP Broadcasting channel. The DSP Network is proud to bring you programming from science fiction to politics to just having a good time and sports coverage of the sports you love. This is the DSP Network.